What's up, everybody? It is the Grand Line Gazette where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day, and we got some new content. Chapter
Yep.
1132. Spoilers. The
Yep.
Eternal Princes of Elbaph. So, first impression, I thought this was going to be a hard chapter. I haven't really read these spoilers. Kev has. So,
Yep.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. There's 13 parts. I'm going to take it 3 parts at a time. You know what I mean?
Sure. Sure.
So, we're going to talk about the spoilers. Of course, we're going to do the full chapter review when that comes out. If you guys like this kind of content, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get to it. We got some new One Piece stuff. I'm pretty excited.
Man, so pumped.
Yeah.
So pumped.
Okay, so it's supposed to start. Loki continues to try to convince Luffy to set him free. He tells Luffy that the king of the giants is determined by the man that holds the sun god's devil fruit. Loki explains that by law, he is the king of Elbaph, but the other giants don't accept his rule. It was a long-standing tradition in Elbaph that when the king got old enough, his eldest son would challenge him to a duel. The king got to die with honor, and the crown prince would earn his place as king in the glory of battle, which makes sense. Then the devil fruit would be passed down when respawning after the king's death. Oh, the devil fruit
Sure.
respawns.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. In the last part of this section, this tradition slowly went out of favor, and when Harold ascended to the throne, he only did so after his father, King Eric, died of natural causes. So King Harold ain't about the killing dad stuff.
Nah. And look, let's keep
He's like,
it
look,
a
sons,
buck.
I didn't kill my dad. Y'all ain't killing me. All right.
Look,
What the?
I'm totally with King Harold on this one. Like, that's an archaic rule, and you should have kings who are willing to step down and be let more of a symbolic role within. I don't want a 78-year-old president type of thing, Like, the same thing happens here. I don't want somebody who's unfit to rule just because he was king.
Now,
So it is interesting.
here's the thing that could be a translation thing, could just be wordplay, or I could be reading into it too much. Oda does stuff like this. Luffy's got the sun god devil fruit, right?
Yes.
But what if Loki has the sun god's devil fruit? Like the sun god ate a devil fruit.
Sure.
And then that got passed down. You're like, hey, whoever has the
It-
devil fruit that the sun god ate, you know what I mean?
I guess if you don't, it's not like it comes with a name tag on it. Like, this is the Yami Yami no Mi, stuff like that. So if you pick up the Mira Mira no Mi and eat it, and you were to be told that this is the sun fruit, you might get there because your hand just turned on fire. It's not the fire fruit or anything like that, but like it's kind of
The
you're
same
looking
thing as
for.
Luffy when he got
Yeah,
told it was the Gum Gum fruit. His whole life he
exactly.
thought it was Gum Gum. So it's like until
It's
he still thinks
it's
it's
like,
Gum Gum.
yeah, exactly. And so if it's bright or if it turns on fire, like, any of these could be misconstrued as the sun god fruit. So
What if now here's
go
the
for it. Go for it.
theory. It got switched and taken.
I agree.
And it was like, hey, y'all never had the Sun God fruit after X date and time. You know what
Which,
I
I'll
mean?
be honest, right here, the last line that we just read, he died after natural causes. Depending on when that happened, it could have been resurrected before you found out and been swapped out at that point. Who knows? We'll
I
find out.
I I telling you right now,
Hmm.
King Eric is gonna have leaves all over him. Like he's gonna
Oh,
have a
yeah,
leaf
yeah,
aesthetic. He's gonna be Leaf Erikson. Like I can
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure.
Like I can see it. Um, cool. We're getting kings. We're getting like North stuff. I'm still. I mean, I
Hmm.
y'all know if y'all been watching, I'm getting into Game of Thrones. I'm almost at the end of season 2. So like, I'm
But
trying to see some like Viking fights. You know what I'm
but I
saying?
get but right here, like, we find out that, like, it is kind of a passing of the torch. Like, you have to kill me in battle in order to take my crown. Like, this is a very Game of Thrones-esque idea.
I wonder what kind of
So,
battle it is. I'm because you
hmm
think Black Panther kind of battle, like, right? Like
yep,
everybody's
yep.
like around, like there's fires and tiki torches and shit like that, and everybody's like, all right, fight.
Well, and
I haven't seen Vinland Saga, but I'm feeling like it's got those vibes.
I'm also thinking like, oh, before the Black Panther fight, you have to take the Black Panther power away. So I don't want Harold to have the Sun God fruit, right? When we're fighting, I think that's kind of unfair. So maybe he has to have some type of sea prison stone chains.
Yeah,
Maybe, who knows? I don't
which would
know.
be
That's
crazy.
up for debate. That
Which
would be
would be
crazy.
crazy. All right, so the next trio of paragraphs. Harudin was the crown prince of Elbaph as the oldest son of King Harold, and Loki despised this because he saw him as weak and unworthy of being king. Loki challenged both Harold and Harudin to duels to the death over the crown. So Harudin is the, I can't say his name, that's why I say it. But however y'all say it at home, say it like that.
Alrighty, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But so he is the oldest, which is kind of
Yep.
crazy. So he is on like a Thor like adventure.
Hmm.
And when he left, Loki took the crown. Um Harold refused this duel. Well, going back, yeah, he challenged Harold and Harden to a duel. Harold refused the duel, saying Loki wasn't the eldest son, that he was too wild to make a decent king, and saying that he believed the tradition to stay dead. Uh, then you see some silhouettes of some traditional giants that believed Elbaph was becoming soft and weak because it was abandoning its warrior tradition. They supported Loki on killing King Harold and raised the pirate flag in honor of the warriors they admired, Dory and Bragi. They formed the Loki Pirates and planned to fight over the fate of Elbaph. So this cult is probably got some Loki pirates in it.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking we have to be on the lookout for people who are still in the ranks of Elbaph, but on the side of like Haradine, who are traitors. We still have true believers of Loki because let me backtrack a little bit. On Elbaph, we have such a sun god is a god caliber of like belief system. So when Loki is has the devil fruit power that everyone on this island would attribute him being the sun god, you have people who are like, that's the second that's our god. Why are you guys having chained up our god? And we will have people amongst the straw hat group on their side who betray us to help free him. So we got to be on the lookout for that to find those
I'm
traitors.
thinking, speaking of traitor, really quick before I go back to what I was going to say about that, it's just like, I mean, it would be interesting if, like, Road wasn't the traitor in the Giant Warrior
Oh,
Pirates.
like
Like,
I
he's the
think
obvious
they'll
traitor, but he's not the traitor because this whole thing,
boom.
reason I bring that up is the point they bring up on Dory and Bragi,
Hmm.
true warriors of Elbaph, and like that is like a strong writing because that's what we know them as. The first giants we ever met were Dory and Bragi, true
Yep.
warriors. That's all they called out. Elbaph, true warrior, warrior of Elbaph, warrior of Elbaph. And so it's like when you hear that giants, it's like kind of like I'm gonna wrap this up really quick because I'm kind of getting derailed. But it's kind of like the Fishman Island arc.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Jinbei leaves, and so you have a void, and then you have the Arlong pirates and the Hordy pirates or whatever, the new fishermen pirates and everything like that, like growing. It's just like that. You have the giant warrior pirates. The two leaders leave.
Yep.
Like, you get the new giant warrior pirates and you get the Loki pirates out of that. And the Loki ones, obviously, they're a cause of some dissension. So, what we are saying is it was a war. It wasn't just people against Loki. It was a straight up war.
Yeah. Loki had teammates and they're probably still around or they're probably in jail with him. So excited to see how that kind of shakes out.
Yeah. Going on to the next trio, we see the Loki pirates overtake Asgard Castle. Loki
Hmm.
again challenged Harold to a duel, this time threatening the lives of the inhabitants of Elbaph if he did not accept. Harold refused the traditional duel but fought Loki anyways, choosing to fight not as an honorable warrior Elbaph of Elbaph, but as a disappointed father protecting his nation. Cast off the cloak, bro. That's gonna be a goddamn scene, man.
Dude.
We see silhouettes of Harold when transformed. He seemed to be on fire. Despite Harold's sun god powers, Loki defeats him pretty easily. But when Loki is about to land the killing blow on Harold, Shanks intervenes and blinds Loki with a sneak attack. Also, Loki's just blind.
Yeah.
The Loki pirates retreat to the underworld. Yo, Harold is on his deathbed from his injuries and begs his people to make sure Harridan gets his devil fruit and becomes king. After he dies, the people of Elbaph all desperately look for it, but Loki returns to the underworld with the fruit in his hand. But it looks like a giant sun. It's massive for a devil fruit. He takes a bite from it and proclaims himself as the true king of Elbaph. So they don't have to be dead to take the fruit.
Oh no, Harold's dead.
Oh,
Harold is on his
on his
deathbed,
deathbed. On his deathbed. I
and
see.
then after he dies is when they look for it. But this goes to when I was. We're also going to find out here how the fruit resurrects. That's a big piece for me that I'm reading here. The people of Elbaph knows how it resurrects, and they still couldn't find it. So we're gonna have to have some type of, oh, it's spawning on the tree, or it's spawning nearby or something. I don't know. They obviously know that's how they're able to keep it inside the family for so long. It's not just a happy accident. No,
We
no.
gotta make a video on this.
Go ahead.
When did we meet Harridan? What arc?
Dressrosa.
Where was it?
What do you mean?
Like where did we meet him? Like what was the location? Do you remember?
Like he was in the Coliseum
And,
bunker
and,
area.
and
Yeah.
what was the prize?
Yeah, yeah, the Marinoma. Yeah.
So he was trying to outfire his
Yeah, yeah, yep.
brother's fire the
Yep.
whole time. Like
Well, that because I mean, think about it. Like this was he was sentenced 6 years ago. So Haridin went on a journey to find something to, like you said, exactly. So
and this
to fight
goes to
back.
his underworld connections with like Buggy and his delivery service. This goes like, because how do you find out about this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get the Straw Hats didn't know about it and people knew about it, but there's no way you knew the the Mara Nomi was going to be there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people knew that. That is a crazy thought. That is a crazy thought. This is going to be very interesting. And maybe,
And
I don't
oh,
know.
go ahead.
I was gonna say
Oh,
maybe like this can only get resurrected on Elbaph because like it's got to be a fruit that size or something. I don't know.
well, I mean, or I guess take it like the we have this thing in the real world called the jackfruit or the jackfruit, and it only grows in certain areas. So if our theory's right, and it has to be, let's say, a kiwi that a fruit that's kiwi that resurrects, it has to go to the nearest kiwi fruit. This fruit may only grow on Elbaph. That way, its resurrection point is only on Elbaph. So you'd have to do something like what Nami does with her oranges and kind of grow it elsewhere for it to ever have a chance like that, which I don't think it ever would. But
Because it's such a large like no, come on, they're giant fruit.
for
You can't just store
Harold
those.
refused the traditional duel. I'm going back to the Black Panther thing. I think there is a way to like kind of temporarily revoke his powers, and
Bro,
then that way it's like an honorable fight. But
but it
then
says he does use his powers though. But like
yeah, yeah, but
that
he
just
refused it.
that
He
his whole
refused
like
it.
Joe like I have so much shame for you.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
yo,
it's
that's gonna be a goddamn scene. I don't know what Harold looks like, but I know his beard's gonna be crazy. Yo.
the part that sucks is like he defeats him pretty easily. So Loki must just be extraordinarily strong, or he was extraordinarily old too. Like he could have just been some
Or
ancient asshole. Like,
or he's tricky.
no, no,
And
for
he,
sure.
and
Oh
he
yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
he laid a trap.
like a hard, like he fakes like a heart, he's like in trouble type shit, and he's just I don't know something.
Or like he set up like one of his like teammates to have like sea prism stones around or something like that. Set him up or for failure.
Shanks blinds him though. I wasn't expecting that out of Shanks. I'll be honest. I don't know. Were you?
That's some Luffy stuff.
Yeah,
No,
that is
yeah,
some
that's
Luffy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. This is exactly what I would expect from like a Shanks kind of thing because it's just
All
like
right, all
everything's
right.
going on and then it's like how is Luffy like from Fishman Island's perspective, he wasn't even there until he jumped out the shark. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And then he was there.
yeah,
Like Shank
true.
ain't there until something's about to happen. Blinds Loki, which is cool. But yeah, Deathbed, Loki takes the fruit. We talked about that. Um, okay, next trio, and then we're almost done. Two more after that. Um, we see Loki in the present. He explains that Shanks, Haruden, and the other giants killed all his crewmates but left him alive. He says that Haruden would not have the support of the populace of Elbaph unless he defeated Loki in an honorable duel. So Loki was to be tied up until Haruden could become strong enough to beat him. Loki smiles and says Haruden is a coward who lacks the spirit of Elbaph, and because of this, he will be known as the Prince forever, just like the coward red-haired Shanks could never become king of the pirates. Loki calls the pair the eternal princes of Elbaph. We then see Luffy get angry at Loki again, yelling and telling him that he can't talk about Shanks that way. Luffy goes into gear fifth and prepares to attack Loki, but his eyes widen as shadows cross over his face. An epic colored double page spread, we see Luffy transformed into his sun god form.
Loki.
Oh shit! In an epic colored double spread, it's the bad writing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get you. I get you. I get you.
We see Loki transformed into his sun god form, his head ringed with a wreath of green flames, his body burning the bark of Adam. He screams so loudly that all of Elbaph hears his roar. Gear green. Wait, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got gears, dog.
So his fire is green. I
Which
just we just saw last night, season 2, episode 9, is when these people are fighting, like a battle at a castle is happening in Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Oh, are you talking about the Blackwater?
Yeah,
The Battle of the Blackwater?
and they're
Yeah.
using green fire. I saw that last night, and my girl was talking about it. I'm like, yeah, green fire is hotter than orange fire. I think.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, because it's on the way to blue. The darker the shade, the hotter the fire. So yeah, this is gonna be kind of crazy. This is gonna be kind
Well,
of crazy.
so for
Where
the
is Sanji?
non-artificial fires, you have red, orange, yellow, blue, violet, and then white at the top. But so I don't know, but
Yeah, I
I
guess
think green you have to have like some shit mixed in
it's
with the
gotta be.
fire.
I think it's just on the way from yellow to blue. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Gotcha,
in the
gotcha.
middle, like of that temperature. So I mean, his fire is hot, but we know somebody with hotter fire. We got
Yeah.
blue fire on the squad. So this is just like that's kind of crazy. Gear green, gear is crazy.
A gear is crazy. I don't where would he get that?
Because what
I,
other colors you got then? Because you're
is
not
he
showing us your first gear.
is he mocking Luffy in this instance? Because Luffy just went like he'll say gear 5 here, right? So is he like, okay,
But
well I'll
sometimes
try out my power, gear green, and it's like
but he
okay,
didn't
whatever.
say fifth gear when he
Well,
fought
yeah.
Lucci.
Oh well, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. It's interesting.
yeah, he hasn't. He doesn't really say it too much anymore.
No, you're
Well,
right.
I guess he up to 4. He says up to 4 because there's variations, I guess. But
Hmm.
he don't say second gear, and he don't say third gear. He just uses those now. Fourth gear is the only thing he kind of even says. Damn. Okay, the Eternal Princes of Elbaph. That is a crazy. That's a crazy title.
That's a hard ass line though. Like
because
You'll
I'm
always be a prince with that attitude. It's
because
like,
I
wow.
don't know if I don't think I'm in the minority, but I don't think Shanks is ever gonna be king of the pirates. I don't think anybody
No,
has ever thought that, which is crazy because
no.
these are things that it's like Oda, Oda.
I
This
was
is Oda right
so
here.
I've always had a thought because you have when you're talking about Roger and when he says my son will be like the Nika, you have technically in my mind, you have three sons for Roger. You have the one who inherited your blood, Ace. You have one that inherited your actual like love, like a father would, which is Shanks. And then one that inherited his will, which would kind of be Luffy in this way. Um, so I've just always like Shanks, his son may become like Shanks kind of helped Luffy, but it's always a stepping stone. That's kind of how Pedro took it as well. Like, I'm not going to see the dawn, but I will be one of the main reasons that it actually happens. And that's kind of what I've always thought of Shanks.
That's gonna be
So,
quite a scene for him to admit that he's like, I guess I'll never see it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
don't think you will.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be kind of crazy, bro.
Ooh.
That would be kind of crazy. Or like, I guess I don't need to see it.
What do you mean?
Or like, tells Luffy, he's like, I don't know, whatever crossroad they meet at, that is a crossroad that they're gonna eventually
Mm.
meet at. That's a crazy concept, but yeah.
Real quick though, his body is burning the bark of Adam. That is crazy. So two things here. Unless he somehow breaks off the chains and we haven't seen it yet, he's doing all of this through sea prism chains and strong enough to burn Adam wood. This fire is going to, I think this is the very first fire or the second. It's not his last fire though. Like
That
he's
is
gonna burn white. That's my amount, like white fire. And I think that's kind of what we're on there. I don't know. All right,
if
last
the
two.
Adam tree and the Eve tree are connected from the root, and he burnt that down, and it went to the Eve tree and burnt that down, that would be burning down Fishman Island.
That would be true. And they are connected somehow. I don't know how. I
That
think if one goes, the other does as well.
I can't wait for the chapter. I mean, we can make some content about this, but we can't release it till the chapter comes out. But we gotta be able. We got this. This is a lot. When does
Yeah,
this come
we
out?
got to next Friday would be
Okay.
kind of our leaks or Thursday. It really does depend.
Yeah. But basically, we'd be doing our Friday video.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Bam. Last two pages, I guess. Luffy, still in Gear 5th, stops laughing and becomes very angry. How did you learn this power? I thought I was the only one, he asks. Loki's smile erupts into Nika-like laughter. He says, Look, Loopy, I was saving this power for red hair, but it seems you've inherited his cowardice, attacking a man chained down. You'll be good enough practice for when Shanks inevitably pulls the same stunt. I mean, Loki's not lying.
No.
He isn't lying. Like, Luffy just beating on chained up people. Like,
Yo, look, you say some wild shit about my homie. Like, I get it. Don't open your mouth if you ain't willing for the consequence. But for Luffy to think you have my power, it is interesting, and I can't wait to see it in the manga chapter. But is he fully awakened? Like, is that what Luffy's talking about? Does his hair turn white? Um, these are the questions I have because Loki's laughing, smiling like a Nika. That could just mean he's a D though, so which I wouldn't be surprised about.
I'm looking at the comments on this, and it says this is a fake post. So, is this
Yeah.
is this real?
what I heard.
All right. Well, that's what the video is about. So
You
y'all
wanna
let
wait?
us know if this is real. We'll be back next week. I just looked and said I saw a comment that said I didn't see that this said shit post. I'm like, I'm not on Reddit. I don't know what that means.
I watched the video this morning, and then it linked to this as well. So
Let
other
us know.
people
Yo.
are covering this. So while we're in the down,
Hey, this is the content.
very
This
interesting.
is the content. Hey, let us know how y'all feel about the spoilers for chapter 1132. If the Eternal Princess of Elbaph isn't really like the concept or anything, like I feel like whoever made this needs to start writing something, because that's a very good pull. That's a good line. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I'm totally with it, because we need some more Loki shit going on, because we don't got anything going on right now.
I will kind of be upset if this is not the chapter. I'll be like, damn. We're
The only part that
we're hanging out with like VV and Warple.
the only part that I would hate that I would hate if it was real is the gear green, because it's like, okay, that's a little dumb, but
if it goes through the different like color wheel, I'll be like,
exactly,
okay,
exactly. Like, yeah, sure. But I mean, put it down in the comments, like, subscribe, share. What do you guys think about this possibly fake chapter that we got going on? I mean, I wouldn't put it past Loki to fake a whole entire chapter like this. That's crazy.
Hey,
He is the trickster god.
Hey, maybe it's news. Maybe it's big news Morgans, fake news Morgans over there. We don't know. What do you guys think? Obviously, like you said, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back later.
Peace.